friend. It was in an old tracker's journal when I first read, "Hunger is the best sauce." Wow, did those words just hit me really strongly. Now, most of us, we probably have had pretty good access to food our whole lives. In fact, a lot of the health problems that we face here in the United States come from overeating and eating foods that are not really foods. When we grow up having that much food around us all of the time, most of us have never felt what it's like to be hungry. Maybe if you've been on an extended camping trip or a long road trip and you couldn't, get some food for a couple hours. But honestly, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a little hungry. At ReWild U, we would have the forest monks do a 3-day fast. They'd go out into the woods, they'd just take water with them, live for those 3 days in just a small circular area in the forest and become very intimate with the world around them, with their own thoughts, their own experience, and with the feeling of not having food. Often we get great things out of experiences such as that because we suddenly realize it's something that is there all the time, food in this case. We may appreciate it, we may enjoy our food and our meals, but because we have them there all of the time, we can't see them as clearly as when they're missing. This obviously goes for a lot of things in life, but with food, it's an easy way for us to jump into this and experience it just a little bit. Because yes, when you eat food after you've been honestly hungry, so more than a couple hours here, maybe just even a half day or a day without food, then that food tastes amazing. It tastes incredible. We cherish it. We savor it. We suddenly soak into this experience that we're having every day that seems normal. And wow, it's incredible. As I mentioned, there's other routes into this. Sometimes with students, we'll work on breath holds. Going without air for a little bit brings similar gifts. We start to realize, wow, how amazing it is to be able to breathe. And when we're in that place of non-breathing, we experience the fear and anxiety that comes with not having something that we feel like we need all the time. But sometimes we can become a little surprised to find that, wow, we can go a minute or 2 or 3 or 4 without taking that breath. And what's that experience like? Food is a great way to experience this idea of hunger being the best sauce because some intermittent fasting or a little less food, for most of us, not all of us, for most of us, that can sometimes be a good thing. So this is a call today to maybe experiment with some intermittent fasting. This can just mean going from dinner and then skipping breakfast and going to lunch. Not having anything except for water during that time, and some herbal tea if you want, without honey. And then see what it's like to taste your food. It might be like you're tasting food for the first time if you've never done this before. And then, after you've had that experience, really let it soak in. Think about it. Think how it applies to your life in general. Whenever we step outside of our cultural norms for even just a little bit, there are gifts waiting for us. Gifts of perspective. As my grandma used to say, there's a lot of people in this world that are hungry, really hungry. And that develops compassion in us. Not just, oh, what's it like for me to go without food? But then I can put myself in the place of others a little bit. And that might even lead me to a huge sense of gratitude for the life that I have. So tell me in the comments, my friends, if you give it a try. Little intermittent fast, day-long one if you're feeling brave. This is if you're healthy and fasting is appropriate for you, of course. But there are gifts there. And tell me what it's like when you taste food again and how that sauce of hunger has made it taste. All right. Love to you all. We'll talk with you in the comments.